Hey everyone, welcome to week 4 of Picks of the Week NFL 2025, where every single week we're going to be choosing 5 games and at the end of the year see how embarrassing or actually how great my picks are going to be. And coming off from week 3, I'll have to say my picks so far are pretty meh. Winners, I was able to go 3-2, so the year to date for the season is 8-7, so I'm over 500, which I'm absolutely okay with there. However, against the spread, it has been an absolute disaster. I went 2-3 against the spread, making me 5-8 for the season. I still got to turn things around on the spread side, but again, anything where I'm above 500 on the winners, I am okay with. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into week 4. Week 4 is going to be very interesting here. Well, I'm going to start off with a few gimmies, in my opinion, and that's going to be our first game here. Saints at the Bills. Buffalo minus 14.5. A over 2 touchdown spread here. I think it's a pretty safe to say that Bills is going to win this game, but I don't think they're going to cover. So I'm going to have here Bills winning 27-13, winning by 14 points. And that hook there is what I think is going to crush a lot of people's, if you're placing bets, but your choices. And I'm going to go with that. So Bills winning by 14, 27-13 in Buffalo. I don't really see a chance of the Saints winning, so maybe this is going to be a gimme on the winner side. Let's go ahead and move to possibly another gimme here, and that's going to be Cleveland at Detroit. The Lions coming with an amazing win last week that really tore up my opportunity to have a winning line record. I thought the Ravens was going to win, but Detroit came out really strong. But here's the interesting thing about Cleveland. Cleveland did beat the Packers, and Packers being, in my opinion, was a pretty decent team. They kept it really close and squeezed out a victory. However, the team that got destroyed by the Ravens, Detroit did beat. Now, of course, those things normally don't correlate, but I'm going to have to go with the Lions beating the Browns 28-17 at home. I think they're going to cover. Have them here winning by 11. So yeah, I think this is these two games here, the Bills game and the Lions game, should give me 2 wins. Should. We'll see. Let's go ahead and move on to something a little bit more difficult. So I said, you know what? I think these two are going to be pretty easy to choose. Let's try one that is going to be very difficult, and we're going to go with this game here, Indianapolis Colts at the LA Rams. This is very interesting because I did not expect the Colts to be this good. But Mr. Indiana Jones himself leading the charge with an amazing defense, going 3-0 so far for the season. Biggest surprise in my opinion. But the Rams almost beat the defending champions. They really, really messed up the second half. And I still think they're a solid team. Their weapons are strong. I think their weapons are better than the Colts. However, Colts, I think, maybe have a better defense. The Rams are 3.5 points favorite. I'm going to have the Rams giving the Colts its first loss of the year, but only by 3. So I'm hedging my bet here, taking the points plus 3.5 with Indianapolis, but I'm going to have the Rams winning 27-14. So I think that's probably the most difficult game of my 5 games that I chose. Let's go ahead and move on to what I've been generally doing here is the Sunday night game and the Monday night game. But here's the interesting thing. The Sunday night football game, this is a game that I'm going to be in attendance. This is Bears at the Raiders. So I get to be heading out to Las Vegas there and checking out that Allegiant Stadium. That's the first time I've ever been to the Las Vegas Raiders. Did I say LA Raiders? But We have Las Vegas Raiders here -1.5 at home, meaning that they're a underdog because you should be -3 at home. So the Bears are, in a sense, slightly favored. But I'm going to go ahead and take their points, right? +1.5. But I'm going to think the Bears are going to win right out. But it's going to be a close game, 24-23. Bears are going to win by 1 point. But again, they're underdogs, +1.5 on the road against the Raiders. And I think the Bears gained some momentum last game here, beating the Cowboys. And I don't think the Raiders really pose that much threat. So, speaking of Cowboys, let's move on to the Monday Night Football game. The Monday Night Football game is absolutely interesting because the return of Micah Parsons already, fresh from his trade to Green Bay here, and Green Bay coming off a really rough loss against the Cleveland Browns. They're 6.5 point favorites on the road. The sheer disrespect for the Cowboys is apparent. is apparent. But the Cowboys just really doesn't have a defense at this point in time. So I am going to have the Packers win it 23-20, but they're not going to cover. I think that is sheer disrespect, almost having a touchdown line against a team at home. But notoriously, I guess, Dallas isn't really great at home. So Packers winning 23-20, I think, is a fair assessment here. Again, kind of hedging my bet a little bit in terms of the Cowboys getting +6.5. So I'm going to take the points, but wouldn't be surprised if the Packers win by 3. Let's go ahead and do the quick recap here, starting with game 1. We're going to go Saints getting, I don't say crushed. Well, yeah, it's 14-point loss, but Saints losing to Buffalo 27-13, but Buffalo not covering. So we are taking 14.5 points with the Saints. Then you have the Lions beating Detroit by 11, so we are taking the -9.5. Then we're going to go into, again, the toughest game here. Rams winning 27-24, not covering the 3.5 points. So taking the +3.5 for Indy. Then the game that would be in attendance, Bears beating the Raiders 24-23, but we're taking Bears +1.5. And then finally, Monday Night Football, Packers winning 23-20. All close games except for one, right? That's why I chose here. And then they are not going to cover the line at 6.5. So there you are. Those are my 5 choices. Will I be able to make the comeback on the spread wise there? I think I made some pretty decent choices with the point spread, but hopefully continue the winning streak in terms of keeping the winners. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.